Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Steph, and if you're not new here, thanks for coming back. In today's video, we are doing another 10-minute challenge to clean my house. Sorry, there is an aeroplane going past right now, so there's a bit of background noise. I really need a studio. Anyway, the 10-minute challenges are my favourite way to clean my house. I feel like that's the most productive way that we get things done. Sometimes I can do the 10 minutes one after the other, and then other times I have to spread them out throughout the day or over a couple of days. Today's video, it was all one after the other, and it was all in the same day, obviously. So as you can see, Lily and Kai are helping me. It is still the summer holidays. We are only... Sorry, there's the phone notification. Gonna mute that. Sorry, just to totally sidetrack, I finally won the book spin. If you've been here for a little while, you will know that I am in a book group on WhatsApp where we're all strangers to each other, but we kind of know each other now, and we read a monthly book, and we also do a monthly spin, and then we have a wish list on Amazon. And every month we do a spin to see who wins, and whoever wins, everybody else goes and buys something up to the value of £10 on their wish list, and they get stuff. Now, I've been in this this book group for, I'm not even sure how long, since about a year and a half now. And so I've spent about £150 on other people, but I've never won. Well, I won today, so I'm in a very good mood, and that notification that you got was somebody else buying me something, so yay me. I'm so looking forward to it because, obviously, well, first of all, free stuff, but second of all, I never win anything, so I'm very excited, and I absolutely love getting mail. It's like my favourite thing. That's one of the reasons that me and Danielle asked people for postcards for our office, because I just absolutely love getting mail. Like when I was younger, I would always have different pen pals, but I'll get into that story another time. So as you can see, we just did 10 minutes in the living room. Well, actually, we're only about halfway through that. The time always seems to go faster when you're challenging yourself, and usually I do this by myself, but the kids have joined in today and they do really well. So off camera right now, what you don't see is Lily is completely like tidying and cleaning up her desk. She's doing an awesome job, and then Kai is obviously helping me sweep. We do turn the camera around and you will see me do the area where the treadmill is. I am not gonna lie, I suck. So since I moved that treadmill, and I mean, you guys seen me do that in a video, so I don't know how many videos ago that was, but since I moved that, I've not used it. I think even when it was in the middle of my living room, even though it was inconvenient, I had no choice but to use it because it was like literally right in front of me. Now it's just slightly to the left of me and I don't use it. I'm so bad. I really need to start doing that. I think once the children go back to school, it'll be easier to get into a better routine. You know, I'll be back at uni. I'll be able to like get up and just do things in a more routinely way. Is that even a word? Anyway, yeah, so this video is a bit overdue. This was filmed probably about a week and a half ago. I really don't even remember. So as you all know, my brother has been up visiting from England, and he's a year older than my oldest daughter. So he's my younger brother. He's only 15. And some of you might know him because he jumps into the lives sometimes and has a chat with people. And we often have to like watch how he says things because I think he comes across as... well, a typical teenager. He says some inappropriate things. Anyway, so he has been staying with us. For those of you that have followed me for a while, you'll know that the reason that, one of the reasons that Five Free Cleaning started in the first place was because of like the situation. So obviously I've said before on this channel, you know, I didn't grow up in the best circumstances, and my brother was living with my mum, who is an alcoholic. And I mean, she's been through a lot of trauma herself. Like, I'm not, like, alcoholism is a disease, you know? Anyway, so she wasn't the best at keeping house. And so the house that I kind of grew up in, you know, was like some of the houses that we clean on the Five Free Cleaning channel. And I've tried for years, you know, for her to let me go in that house and clean it. And she's just never been on board with it. And it kind of got to a point where she ended up having a little bit of a... mental health scare, not mental health scare, like a physical health scare, and paramedics had to come out to the house, and they kind of seen, you know, how bad the house was, and it was reported to social services. And all of that being said, my brother was removed from her care, and I was trying to get special guardianship of him, But because all my family live in England and I live in Scotland, that was the only reason that he didn't get to come and stay with us, because of the distance, because he wouldn't have been able to, maintain contact with my mum and other family members. So he ended up going to stay with my sister. But part of the care plan is that he gets to come and stay with us in the holidays if he wants to. So I made sure that that was put in the care plan, because I kind of had a feeling like if it wasn't like concrete written in stone, my sister would find a reason for him not to come, and she did try to find a reason, but I was like, nope, it is law, he has to come. Anyway, so he's been here for the last week and it's been really good, but it's been so busy, so busy. I am exhausted. So because of, his home life and his past and things, he hasn't really, he doesn't get the same as what my kids get. My kids are spoiled, and I know they're spoiled, and it's probably going to come back and bite me on the butt when they're older. But, we do a lot as a family. We have a lot, they get everything. Anyway, all that being said, so while he's been here, I kind of crammed all the summer activities rather than spreading them out over the whole summer. When the kids have asked to do something, I'm like, yeah, we can totally do that, but let's wait until Kev comes up so he can join in too. So rather than, doing 1 or 2 things a week, we've just done everything in this past week. So we've been swimming and out for dinner and out for lunch, and we've been bowling, cinema, Ninja Warrior in Edinburgh, which is like the program Ninja Warrior. I don't know if that's anywhere else except the UK, but it's like a big giant inflatable obstacle place. Obviously I didn't go on that, they all did. What else have we done? We've been to parks. Kev and Madison have been out to the skate park with their friends. We've been playing Pokemon and chess and other board games, and we've just been doing a lot, and it's been a lot. And then amongst all that, I've still been working, and my husband's still been working, and we still have been having to, tidy the house and things. So it's just been a lot, and that's why I've not really been posting. So this video will be going live today, the day of this voiceover, but this video was supposed to go live a week ago. It's not even that I haven't had time to film and tidy my house. I've actually been doing quite good at just doing a little bit every day in between doing other stuff. The problem has been sitting down and doing the editing and the voiceover, because whenever I have a minute to sit down, my teenagers, right, they do not like spending time with me. They go up in their rooms and hang out with their friends and go and do their own stuff and VR, and they're, normal, typical sullen teenagers, oh, I don't want to spend time with you. But my brother, he's grown up quite isolated, so he only wants to spend time with you, which is great, and I'm happy to do it. But it does mean I don't get any time to myself. So the time in the evenings when, the kids go to bed and then me and my husband have a couple of hours to ourselves, we've not been getting that time, because we've just been letting the kids stay up basically till whenever they want, because it's the summer holidays. It's not like they get to do that every day. The younger kids have still been going to bed at a decent time, but the older kids have been just as long as you're quiet and you're not bothering me, do what you like. Anyway, so what he likes to do is hang out with us. So we've been playing Pokemon cards in the evenings, we've been binge watching The Flash or Marvel movies or playing video games, all the usual stuff. And I'm having the time of my life. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it and I'm loving it and I love having him here. But I'm just not getting that, time to decompress. And so it's a lot. And it means also I'm not wanting to sit and edit and do voiceovers and all of that kind of stuff, because then that's time that I could be spending with him and with my family. So that's why I've not really been posting this week. Anyway, I've not really talked much about what's going on in the video. We moved on from the living room. I think we actually ended up spending about 13 minutes in there, because after the timer went off, we carried on. And as you've seen, Kai did a really good job at cleaning the desk after Lily cleared it. And then we've moved on to the dining area. I always kind of separate, even though this is one room, I kind of, when doing these challenges, do 10 minutes on the dining area side of the room and then do 10 minutes in the kitchen. So that's why I kind of class it as the dining room rather than a kitchen. I think if it was a typical house, there would be a wall and it would be a separate room. So anyway, so that's kind of what this week has been like. And then next week I was supposed to be going camping, but the weather is supposed to be absolutely horrendous. So I think we're going to do a couple of other things instead, but it should be a little bit more chilled this coming week. So hopefully I'll be able to get more editing done. I'm only able to actually do this voiceover right now because my brother and Madison are away at a skate park in another town having fun, and then everybody else is kind of just doing their own thing in the house. I actually just got back from a business meeting with our new admin assistant for 5 Free Cleaning. So he does kind of want to remain not so much anonymous, but just the man behind the scenes rather than in front. So I'm not really going to give any information about him, but he's doing a very good job. He's at the moment, he's kind of in the research phase, looking at other cleaning channels and like studying videography and things, and looking at how we can kick off our short form content, because that's kind of the goal. So yeah, what are we doing now? My hands have been so flared up with my eczema lately. You've seen me rubbing them quite a few times, I think, in the video. So you don't see me doing any cleaning. I only do tidying. But at the end of the 10-minute challenges, my husband comes in and he cleans the kitchen and washes the dishes and things, and you guys get to see that because he was open to me recording. It's like, well, you're going to do it anyway, I might as well record. He's a little bit nervous in front of a camera because he's so self-depreciating. It's his only negative quality, is that he's so harsh on himself. And so I was like, oh, I'll record you doing the dishes and cleaning the oven. He was like, but I'll do it wrong. I was like, you literally can't do it wrong. But he was, like, oh, but I'm so slow and so rubbish. And I was just like, everybody will love you. I was like, I'm going to tell everybody to make nice comments about you. Actually, I can't remember what it was, but I think we made a bet. There was a bet, and it was something about you guys having to say nice things about him. I was like, oh no, I bet everybody loves you and says nice things. And he was like, no, they won't. And then we made a bet on it, and he was like, but you're not allowed to tell them to do that. So I've just broken the rules. But yeah, feel free to say nice things about my husband when he comes on screen to do some housework. And not because you're praising him for doing housework and helping in a house, because, men should do that anyway. But because he's just so shy and nervous, and he did it on camera for me. Anyway, what happened here was, so the kids can't really help me with this part of the kitchen. Like, they can empty the dishwasher, but they can't really, wash dishes or clean bunker. I mean, they probably could if I was to teach them to do it, but they're just a little bit too little. So what I said was, I'll do the kitchen. Why don't you guys go and tidy your bedroom? So what we do is they take the timer upstairs, Kai and Lily, and they go into their room. And I set up a camera for them because they wanted to be recorded, and they do it themselves. And it is so fascinating to see what their process is and how do they tidy without any direction whatsoever. So you see me doing the kitchen for 10 minutes, and then you see them doing their bedroom for 10 minutes. Although what I didn't realise is that it wasn't 10 minutes, it was more like 20 minutes, because Kai told me that the timer went off. I couldn't hear it. The timer went off, but they just carried on for like another 10 minutes. So even though technically it's a 10-minute challenge, we both do like about 20 minutes in the kitchen and in the children's bedroom. And don't get me wrong, the room isn't perfect afterwards, and it's a complete mess again now. I'm 100% going to have to go and tidy it. I actually need to declutter the clothes in Lily's drawers, because her drawers will not close. They're so full. And because she's really into dressing herself right now, they're a complete mess. So that is on the agenda for this coming week. Anyway, I'm just going to breathe. I'm very good at talking consistently without taking a breath about nothing. And then when I run out of things to say, that's when I choose to breathe. Anyway, so yeah, really good day today. So we were I say really good day. Mentally, brilliant day. Physically, this week has taken its toll. It's been difficult this week. I was actually supposed to be doing a free clean today, but Danielle wasn't able to make it. And which I already knew, but I was supposed to be going to this clean and with a person, like a contractor, who was going to be helping us decorate, and he completely ghosted me. And so I didn't want to go to the clean myself, especially because the plan was to start the decorating. And so I think me and Danielle and possibly Megs are going to go there on Thursday instead. And then I'm not actually sure what's happening with this guy that's ghosted us, because he needs to help us with the flooring. Like, we don't know what we're going to do now. Hopefully something came up and he just wasn't able to get in touch, but I don't know. I'm a little bit like, the number of people that say they're going to help with stuff and then don't help with stuff. It's like, well, the thought was there, but it would be nice if people followed through. So, we'll update you in the next 5 Free Cleaning video about that one. So yeah, but anyway, today, good day. So won the book group spin. Also, we've got the book chat tonight to discuss the last month's book. It's about a week late, this chat, and I still haven't finished the book, but I think I can probably finish it before the chat. I've not got that much. It's a very different book to what I normally read. So this book group, love them to pieces. We all have different kinks, and one of the things I like is there's no kink shaming. We do read smutty books, but I think their tastes are maybe slightly darker than mine because some of the books I've read, I've been like, oh my goodness. So I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the book that we're currently reading, which if anybody is interested, is called Lord of Bones. I can't remember who it's by, but it's on Amazon Kindle. Fair warning, there are some very dark themes and it's filthy, but if you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and read it. That's what we're currently reading. I'm hoping the next month's book is just a little bit lighter and fluffier because don't get me wrong, it's an interesting read, but it's not quite my cup of tea. Anyway, so I've got that later, and then my husband's currently watching football, and I think we might be playing Pokemon cards later. I also got my nails done a couple of days ago. Sorry, that was a completely random, useless bit of information just thrown in there because I happened to look at my nails. Oh yeah, so I kind of clean the bunkers a little bit, but like I say, my hands have been flaring up. I just washed my hair today, and I really need to do something when I'm washing my hair because I don't really like wearing gloves to do it because the water just runs down the gloves anyway, and then sometimes I pull my hair out because of the rubber on the gloves. But the shampoos and stuff make my eczema worse, so I need something. I need a new system. I don't know. I need something. Any suggestions, drop them below if you know what I'm asking. I don't know what I'm asking, but if you guys can figure it out, drop them in the comments. And speaking of comments, please like and subscribe and comment and help everything to boost my algorithm and my engagement. The channel is growing slowly and steadily, and I am thankful to have you all here. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. Here we go. We have finished the kitchen and the dining area. I should have done this after my husband washed the dishes. I mean, maybe I do. I don't actually remember if I come back and show you. But now, this is my favourite part of the video. So this is, you've seen me do this not even that long ago, but I didn't do it to completion because I wasn't feeling great. But yeah, this is their room again, and it is a complete, and I want to know how that duvet keeps getting in here. I keep putting it away and it keeps coming back. So I come in and I set the timer at their request, and then I leave, and they do all of this completely by themselves without direction. So right now what you can't see is Kai is off camera. He is on his bed, and I think he's making his bed as best as he knows how. And then Lily is just kind of toddling around. I think they're kind of discussing what the plan is here. Kai is so good on camera. He shows you things, and I think he gives Lily direction, and yeah, I think he's kind of running the show here. To be honest, I've only ever watched this footage sped up while I was editing it, so we're seeing this for the first time ever. I feel like we're watching one of those episodes of The Secret Life of 4-year-olds, except Kai's 9. He is slightly younger because he's slightly delayed, so he does appear to be younger than a 9-year-old, and he's also very small for his age because of his kidney problems. But yeah, he's maturing so quickly, and I'm sad to be losing my baby boy. He keeps telling me that this poster fell down and I need to put it up, but sadly I think I'm going to need to buy him a new one because when the last time I was in the bedroom, oh look, he's showing you. Last time I was in the bedroom, I noticed it was back on the floor and it's been a little bit destroyed by Lily, I'm assuming, because it was under the chair, and then she uses the chair to climb up to get her clothes. Also, if anybody's wondering why there is a camping chair in here, this has been in here pretty much since Lily was born, because well, not since she was born. Once Lily transitioned from our room to her own room as a baby, I was still breastfeeding, and then obviously she would still get her bottle and stuff when her dad was feeding her, because we combi fed once I went back to work when Lily was a year old, but I breastfed her up until she was about 18 months old. She was the only successful child I managed to breastfeed. I tried and failed with the other 3. It just didn't work out, but with her it did work out. But because I worked a night shift once I did go back to work, we started to combi feed Lily about 3 months before going back to work. So she was probably about 9 months old. We started to combi feed her so that she would take a bottle for the days that I was at work. Anyway, so the camp chair was in here because we would do it in her room because it's less disruptive than picking her out of her cot and taking her back through to our room and feeding her there. So we just had the camp chair in here to sit on because obviously, you know, it's not a nursery. We don't have a big nursing chair. So I would just sit on the camp chair to feed her. And then it's just stayed in here because even once she wasn't taking bottles and stuff and waking up during the night to go to bed, either my husband sits and plays the guitar for the children or I will sit and read books to them. Sometimes they just listen to the Alexa, but that didn't used to be the case because Lily would only go to sleep if somebody was in the room. I think she was quite a clingy baby in terms of, you know, she needed that physical comfort. So I remember the first 3 nights that we had her at home, the first couple of nights, you know, she just would not let us put her down. She was very spoiled. She just needed us. And so I got no sleep the first couple of nights at home because I would just be awake all night holding Lily. And then my husband realised, because I'm not somebody who often asks for help. I'm a lot better at it now, but I didn't used to be. And so I didn't even, you know, tell him oh, I've been up all night because she won't let me put her down. But once he realised, what we started doing was I would feed her and then pass her to him, and then I would sleep and he would kind of hold her. And then eventually, you know, on I think day 5 or 6, we were slowly able to start putting her in the Moses basket. But yeah, those first few nights were difficult. She just wouldn't let us put her down. I don't know what it was. I think she was quite a sicky baby. She didn't like being laid flat. I think in the end we kind of raised up the Moses basket slightly so she wasn't completely flat, and then after that it was totally fine. But yeah, while I've been waffling and being nostalgic, Kai and Lily have been slowly tidying their room. You don't see much of Lily because what they're actually doing is they have quite a good system. Kai is passing all of the dirty laundry to Lily, and Lily is the one going up and down the stairs and bringing the laundry to the kitchen and putting it in the basket, which is quite good. And yeah, any toys he's just putting in toy boxes, and I've not really been paying attention what else. It's mostly just toys and laundry that's in this room because the children don't really eat upstairs or anything like that. They usually are quite good at eating in the kitchen, although since my brother's been here, a lot of them have been eating more in the living room, which we don't normally allow, but we have been lately. But yeah, it was so funny because as you can see, you know, that timer went off quite a while ago and he's still just carrying on. I think he was quite determined to get the floor clear. Did such a good job. These two have honestly been my little stars this holiday with their helpfulness. We haven't really made any more progress on the garden since I last spoke to you guys because every time it's been a nice day, we've either been out doing something at a park, or because we've been doing so much, I've just not had the physical capability to do gardening. So once we're at home, you know, that's me kind of sitting down, not able to do anything. So obviously the camera angle is not great right now, but he is just organising his clothes and his unit with his clothes in it. And then Lily's still just going up and down with all the stuff. It's a shame because I don't really get any after photos of this room. So what you see at the end is what you get basically. And I think we went out after this. So this whole house clean is not really technically whole house. We do the living room, the kitchen, the dining room, the bedroom, and the hallway. And then my husband obviously cleans the kitchen as well. And then that's it. So technically 5 spaces. But the plan was for me to do the bathroom as well. And then I just never got round to it on this day. And then the next day I was doing a free clean at the house that we've been cleaning, and I cleaned their bathroom, and that was on the Sunday. But then we had a plumber who was going to be coming out on the Monday, and I was like, oh, the bathroom is a complete mess, I'll need to do that. But I wasn't doing that on the Sunday, so I had to force myself to do that on the Monday. So little update on the bathroom while I'm talking about it and while I remember actually. So we had a trades guy, a legit plumber come out, and he kind of looked at the bathroom, and he says that it is because the materials that have been used are not very good materials, and because the person who fitted the bathroom didn't take the tiles off the walls, they just put the wet wall over it, which means there's like quite a lot of gaps, and then they didn't do the wet wall low enough past the bath. They should have done a couple of inches down past the bath and then did the ceiling. So they think that, first of all, it wasn't completely dry when they did the sealant around the bath, and then also because of the rubbish materials, there's a couple of dents in the materials, so water has been getting in. He says it's not a leak because of where the water was. That's not where the pipes will be, so that it can't be a leak. So it is just faulty materials. So he says, you know, in the long term, you probably will need to get a new bathroom because the materials are rubbish. But in the short term, they can just replace the sealant. Now that it's we've not been using the shower, so now that it's kind of dried out, we'll be able to redo the sealant, and then just keep an eye on that and do that regularly. But that would be the temporary solution, and then he needs to have a look under the bath to see if there's been any damage done, but he can't do that without ripping off the wet wall that they've done for the bath panel. So I think that's like a job for another day, but in the interim we can definitely just do the resealant around the bath, and then we will have full use of the bathroom again. So that is good news. In terms of the company that kind of messed up in the first place, I'm not sure what we're going to do about that, because first of all, my initial anger and like the emotions that I was feeling, they've kind of drained away now. And so because it was just rubbish materials, I'm not sure if we can still sue or whatever, but I think I will still look into it because I'm still outraged at their treatment of us. And if they are using materials that are so cheap that they're not fit for purpose, then really, you know, that is on them. So who knows, but that's kind of the update with that so far. And then I don't know if I told you guys, but my downstairs, like WC, so I cleaned that, and then a couple of days later I noticed like this is really gross, but actual mushrooms popped up, and it turns out we have a leak on the one of the taps on the downstairs sink. So I had the plumber look at that, and he's going to fix that as well. So we've just had not very much luck with bathrooms. But although the actual plumber himself, he said that, like, because he runs like a trades company, he says that it would cost too much for them to come and do those two jobs because they're very small jobs. So he recommended just getting a handyman to do them. So I'm going to speak to the handyman that I know that initially came out and, you know, had the problems with the sealant, but he might not be comfortable doing it because it is just kind of patchwork work, and he doesn't really like doing that. So I'll need to speak to him and see if that's something that he can do, because as I've stated before, I know doing bathroom sealant is like a quick enough and simple enough task for most people to do, but because of the way that they've fitted the taps, like it's too close to the wall that I can't physically get behind it. That's why I need somebody else to do that. So yeah, so that's the bathroom update. Feel like there was something else I needed to update you guys on, but I don't remember what it was. No idea. So anyway, we're kind of on to the hallway section now. And again, like, I am just doing the bare minimum. I really need to do a shoe and coat declutter. It's been a little difficult because we've still got all our winter stuff there, because I mean, this is Scotland. We can't really swap things out seasonally because, you know, one day it might be blaring sunshine and then literally the next day it could be a thunderstorm. So it's kind of hard to be like, okay, swapping out the winter coats for the summer coats kind of thing, and the raincoats and all of that. So we just, and also lack of storage. There's nowhere to put it. Oh, it's not a voiceover if I'm not yawning at least once. Sorry for anybody that I just made yawn. What has everybody else been up to? I like hearing your little updates in the comments. Oh, that's what I was mentioning earlier about the algorithm as well, is I don't have an engagement question for you guys today. So just comment with whatever comes into your mind. It's like that game where you say a word and then you have to, like the association game, you have to then do another word. So this is not part of the challenge. Oh, I put it in writing in case I forgot. So this is just Pete doing the dishes and cleaning the stove top. That's kind of what he does. And then it all gets done. And it was really good because I think this was the day that my brother was arriving as well. So he came to a nice clean house. I think that's one of my motivations for trying to keep on top of the house, because obviously I don't want my kids living in like mess either, but it is exhausting. Like, people are like, just clean as you go. Like, I'm not somebody that can clean as I go because it's too much. Like, yeah, it's just as much, letting it build up and then, doing a big clean. Both things have their pros and their cons, but I find it a lot less mentally exhausting doing it my way. And then also, I live in a state of high anxiety when I'm just continuously like trying to clean as I go, and that's not a very good environment. So yes, the house is messy and that's not great for kids growing up in, but they see the mess being made and then they see it being cleaned up, and they also help with that cleanup. So I don't think that that's such a big deal. Whereas if I was constantly like, "Oh, don't make mess and tidy that up," and like just constantly on it cleaning as I go, like all of the time, I don't think that's healthy for my household. But because my brother's staying with us this week, I have been more tidying as I go. Um, Simply because, of the environment that he was removed from. I don't want him to feel like he's back in that environment. Even though my house is nothing like that, it is mostly just like clutter and mess rather than dirt. But still, it's just in the back of my mind at all times. I'm just like, okay, the kitchen's really messy. Let's tidy it up before it gets too messy, kind of thing. So yeah, but I think that has added to the exhaustion and pain that I've been feeling this week. So it's definitely not something that is sustainable. But yeah, and I've just been kind of, because we've been out and about and so busy, like I have just been, doing the bare minimum to stay on top of it. Like, I've not actually been cleaning or anything. I've just been basically tidying up, making sure the dishwasher gets emptied and refilled and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, I think Pete does a very good job at doing the stove. He also does the bins. I forgot about that. I think that's his normal regular chore, because I cannot get the lid off of our bin. So he always does it. And then he used to just empty the bins, and I was like, when you empty the bins, can you just give them a wipe down as well? Because I realised they were getting really gross. And so he started doing that, and then now that's just kind of part of his little routine as well. If you don't know like what to comment, you could maybe comment like with what's your favourite tattoo that you see on my husband. Do you know? Just a real quick story, okay? Actually no, I've changed my mind. I'm not going to tell that story, just in case the person that I was going to tell the story about actually watches the channel. And now I'm going to leave you all curious about what that story could have been. Do you know, one of the things about like watching other people in my household clean, it's like seeing how they do it differently to me. It's really interesting to me. Do you know what I was thinking? So obviously I have been cleaning this week. I've not actually been really recording it because that's too much effort for me right now. I do have some other footage for you guys, don't worry. I did do the bathroom, so I have that footage. It wasn't part of the 10-minute challenge, so I didn't include it in this video. And then I've done the kitchen again since then. And then, like I said, I'm going to do Lily's clothes. So those three things, that'll probably be the next video. Forgot where I was going with that thought process. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So I've not been recording. I was thinking it would just be so much easier if I could just set up like a permanent camera in my kitchen or in my house, like indoor CCTV. But yeah, I don't think my family would appreciate that. But did there not used to be a show, and it literally was just recording people's houses or recording them watching TV or something really random like that? I never really watched it. But yeah, we are nearing the end of this video. I'm kind of looking forward to when the kids go back to school and the house is more quiet, because I'd like to do more of the combination videos where I talk a little bit and then have some original audio and some sped up, because yeah, I just feel like it's nice to talk all the way through a video, but also, sometimes people just want some peace and quiet. I know that I do sometimes. Anyway, that is us at the end. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!